Oh, welcome to Tuko Riada, another episode with your friend on this side of the planet, with a man that gets excited, interrogates subjects, and shares a perspective and opinion as we move into what? The USA track and field trials in a week. In fact, it's less than a week because it's a 4 days event. NBC is covering it from Eugene, Oregon. And I'll be privileged, hopefully, to give you my perspective on the ground, what I see, and all that. I'm excited, looking forward to that. But there are things to be talked about as we move into the closing hours of what is going to be, I think, one of those stages of a show or event for 1 week or so. I think 4 days where I think, will be treated to the best of America in track and field, moving into the World Championship. But there's a few letdowns here that maybe I'll talk about. The MIA, missing in action athletes. Quincy Hall, gold medalist, 400 meters. The golden boy with gold teeth. The guy who knows how to win. Apparently, he didn't make the cut. He didn't make the deadline entry for his appearance in the rounds of 400 meters. That is bizarre. This is a top athlete. I think maybe he's struggling with something we don't know because he hasn't done much in this circuit of Diamond League. We didn't see him in Eugene. In fact, he was interviewed in Eugene, but he didn't show up for the event. He might be having what we call undisclosed injury. He hasn't shared much on any platform, so we are speculating as usual. Yeah, Quincy Hall won't be at the trials. That's a letdown because I think he had a good one in Rome, where he seems to have put a good fight and winning that 400 meters flat. Quincy Hall is missing. That's a big gap. That's a big miss in the U.S. trials. He's a man I was looking forward to seeing in those trials, but he's absent. And one of the things about some of these athletes is that we don't hear much from them, so it leaves us speculating. Sometimes their agents tell us whether they have been injured, they have been sidelined by some issues that we don't know. We respect that. But Quincy Hall apparently did not meet that deadline. There was a midnight deadline a few days ago. He didn't meet it. Again, that's Quincy Hall. And I think it's going to be a big miss because it's a gold medalist from last year's Olympics. And then let's just go to the East a little bit because I want to be global as much as I can. Last week we talked of Kenya having one of the strangest trials I ever seen in my lifetime. On a Tuesday morning with a few days notice, you saw what you saw. But again, across the border in Uganda is Joshua Cheptegei, who is a no-show for World Championship. I guess he has nothing to prove. He's won it all. He's a world record holder. What else does he have to prove? He's decided to take his next phase of career on the road. People are saying that's where money is. If Eliud Kipchoge is an example, he's the mentor of road races and marathon. Maybe that's where he's heading. Joshua Cheptegei, the American, not the American, the Ugandan. I'm too much baptized into this American powerhouse. Anyway, Joshua Cheptegei not showing up for the World Championship. I think that opens up the 5K. Right now, 5,000 meters globally is wide open. The other person we haven't heard much from is Jakob Ingebrigtsen, the Norwegian. He's been having Achilles problems. We haven't seen him much. And we wonder when he comes out, does he get enough races? Does he get fit enough to go through the rounds of 1,500 meters and maybe 5K? So 5K with Jakob might move on. We don't know, but we might be surprised here and there. So that leaves 5,000 meters, an event that we will just have to flip a coin. You can put your card in the hat. I don't know what I look at, but we have to look at the season, how it's been going. We have a Swede who's been doing good. We have an American who have broken world records, Grant Fisher. Aregawi has been running incredible throughout the circuit. We have Nico Young, who smashed the American outdoor record in Stockholm. I think it was Stockholm or Oslo, whatever that event was. So 5,000 becomes an open event. Very hard to anoint. People are having these pre-World Championship anointment of who is who. I might do that as we move forward and march on to World Championship. But the trials are here in Eugene, so you have to go through that route. What I find problematic, before I let you guys enjoy the weekend that has been just phenomenal, I got to just talk of the weather just for a second. It's been incredibly cool, 70 degrees, nice to be out. Went blackberry picking, and I found out that I was maybe a few days late. But we found a few buckets. We will work with that and see how those jams come out. You can make an order. Please don't. We are not sure we're going to come to putting them in a jar. 800 meters are more a thing. Nicholas Kev, whatever his last name is, more a thing. I don't like the fact that she's being a little bit too dramatic for me. If you know the deadline to enter an event in the trials, and you have to be dramatic about waiting until the last second to say you're going to be participating, more thing is to do better. I think for me, I like people they are clear what they want. I know you've been struggling, but don't be dramatic. Drama in track and field doesn't work for some of us. The history of drama, it doesn't bode well down the road. I don't want to go there. You've had enough drama in your life, more thing. We trying to see you do well. That is a drama I didn't like about. But my take on these trials coming up is the big names missing. We are talking of Quincy Hall, Joshua Teptegei. But I think I'll leave something here for you guys to think and maybe comment about. The fact that we've had the biggest show in track and field back to back, could it be taking a toll on athletes? Olympics last summer, World Championship this coming September, August window. The window between is taking a toll on some athletes. I think Jakob Ingebrigtsen seems to be the one who has suffered a great deal. He didn't even forgo the indoor European Championship. He ran 3:45 for the mile, still owns a record indoor. It took a toll on him. Now he's injured. So sometimes we have to look at are they overtraining, over racing. People have talked about other sports that there seems to be the rotation of athletes competing at the highest level seems not to give them enough break for their bodies to recuperate and find themselves to be able to sustain. That is a questionable calendar sometimes. Maybe we, our fans, are not asking enough questions, because when you look at some of these athletes who've been injured, in fact, Norman, I think, is a 400-meter runner who I've just read that he's not even showing up because he underwent big-time injury because of some, I think, some structural issues in his body. These are some of the things that athletes go through. A lot of training, a lot of racing, and all of that can take a toll, and some of these, they suffer through injuries and things that we are only finding late. And so maybe the calendar has been brutal on athletes from last summer Olympics to this summer World Championship. So it never happens that way normally, and that's why there's a lot of absentees, or MIA, missing in action. That's just what I just dropped out there. Anyway, that was it. Tuko Riadha, welcoming the subscribers that are on board, is a community of Riadha donors. I just renamed you guys. Please tell me, how should I call you? How should I address you? My Riadha donors? Check how it's written out, Riadha donors. I like that one. What do you think? Give me a comment. What do you think? What do you have if you are into predictions on your chats and seeing how it looks like? We can have some moments to interact. What do you think? That's me giving you an open session in our next Tuko Riadha. Bye-bye.